All right. So, hello everyone. My name is Nico. I'm Devel at Ledger, and today we embark on a retrospective journey through the evolution of blockchain wallets. In this narrative, we will explore how wallets evolved over the last 14 years or so. So we have quite a lot of history to go through. So let's get started. Fellow Ethereans, welcome to the tale of the wallet. So, our story begins in the digital realm the 9th of January 2009 in a country called SourceForge. A mysterious individual or group dropped a piece of software that was about to make history. This day marked the birth of the first blockchain, Bitcoin. Very soon, this blockchain became a rock star, spreading around the world, carried by the winds of freedom and hopes of decentralization. A lot of the noise focused around the blockchain itself, but much less around the wallet, its key component. Everyone wanted to talk about the blockchain, but to interact with a blockchain, you need a wallet. And unluckily for our pioneers, the wallets at the time were pretty rough. Bitcoin Core was offering random key generation, which means you had to back up a lot of keys if you didn't want to lose your coins. But hey, Bitcoin Qt had your back. Bitcoin Qt was the first graphic interface to use the Bitcoin wallet client. And by default, it was caching 100 keys in a pool of reserved key. So yes, you might have understood Bitcoin Qt had your back only if your back wasn't very large. And unfortunately, the pioneers had very large backs. So thousands of keys were lost at the time. 3 years later, in 2012, a knight of the digital realm named Peter arrived with a new system. It was called BIP32. It was a standard which uses elliptic curve mathematics to allow one to calculate a set of private key from a unique private key without revealing it. This unique private key is called the master. From this master, you can generate a tree-like structure of child keys, which has its own address that can be used to send and receive coins. Here you go. So the main benefits of BIP32 is that you only need to remember or back up one key, the master key. And when needed, you can derive the child keys and their public address. All this without needing to store each individual key pair. So now, instead of having to store hundreds of secrets, you only needed to store one. This was an amazing jump forward for the wallet security and user experience. It allowed thousands of people to enjoy the powers of blockchain. But even more interesting for us today is the process through which Peter, this knight, went through in order to pass this proposal. Basically, he identified a problem within the wallet system that was currently in place. And this proposal didn't happen in one day. Actually, many people discussed, tested it, tried to break it. So it can be seen as a battle in victory. It was battle-tested, I would say. So Peter was the first knight to come victorious from a great battle. He inspired many others to follow his path and improve the wallet system. So this marked the beginning of the wallet improvement journey. And this tale is their story, the story of the brave knights that gave their sweat and tears to help us protect our secrets. The following year, in 2013, a group of 4 knights came in the digital realm. Their names were Marek, Pavel, Aaron, and Sean. They came to improve the system that was in place. They were very familiar with BIP32, but they realized it lacked something for human interactions. Even if Peter made it much easier to store your master key, it was still looking like something 5HQ, HK, TR8. So yeah, not very ideal to communicate or to explain to someone that's not into cryptography. mass adoption was not going to happen with those very long alphanumeric keys. So they went to the battlefield with a new horse, and this horse was BIP39. BIP39 described the implementation of a mnemonic code or mnemonic sentence. It's basically a group of words that are very easy to remember for the generation of deterministic wallet. Basically, what BIP39 does is that it turns your master private key into a set of words that are chosen from a list of 2048 words. You might think, oh, but I'd like to choose my own words. I'd be able to remember it more easily. But first, you shouldn't try to do it, because this makes you very vulnerable to what we call the $5 wrench attack. And second, humans are very bad at choosing words or passwords. So if I were to let you choose your words in this room, we would probably end up with similar phrases such as Vitalik is great and Starknet is going to scale to 10,000x. So there we got our night table. Basically, it's where the legend rests after the battle and exchange ideas about how to improve the system even further. Most of those discussions, those very early discussions, happened on the forum Bitcoin Talk. You can still find them, and you might find some dead links, but thanks to Web Archive and Wayback Machine, you can dig some very good gems inside this discussion. For example, you might find the fact that Vitalik used to work on a browser extension, a Bitcoin wallet called CryptoKit. And 2013 was a very prolific year for the wallet journey. Once again, Marek and Pavel went to the battlefield to propose a new standard, which has been widely implemented. BIP44 allows the handling of multiple coins, multiple accounts, external and internal chains. So here, external chains and internal chains refer to the UTXO system. Internal chain is basically just chain of change addresses. It's the addresses that shouldn't be seen outside the wallet. And external addresses is the chain of receiving address, the one you use to receive your coin and so forth. You can have millions of addresses per chain, so BIP has your back, even if your back, BIP44 has your back, even if your back is extremely large. For the derivation pass, it's basically like a treasure map. This treasure map is going to give you indication about where your coins are stored. So the derivation pass for ETH is 60, so it makes it easy for you to find your Ethereum that are stored somewhere on the island. And the same year, but this time in the physical realm, a few people decided to drastically improve the security of wallets. This is the beginning of the hardware wallet era. So the thing is, computers are not secure. They are not made to store secrets. You can be one of the best developers in the world with one of the most complex schemes to hide your secrets on your laptop or on various servers. You are still an easy target compared to a 5-year-old child that is storing its secret on a secure element. A very good example of this is the hack of Luke Dash Jr., which is one of the Bitcoin Core developers. Even though he's a very talented developer and he has a very, very good understanding of blockchain and wallets, he got his coin, almost all of his coin drained this year because he was storing secrets on a computer. So what's a secure element? It's basically a small chip, or a small computer if you wish, that has been designed to store secrets and to be protected from unauthorized access. It can run a limited set of applications. And what you can see here on top is the HW1, the very first hardware wallet with a smart card. It's a piece of history. And now what we have is what you see down, the newest version of the Nano S, the Nano S Plus. We have sold about 3 million Nano S, making it the most widely used hardware wallet in the world. And those devices allowed millions of people to enjoy the power and blockchain and to sleep in peace without having to worry about the security of their digital assets. But there is no such thing as perfect hardware security, and there will never be. Security, hardware security is a journey. It's actually more like an infinite battle. That's why we have the dungeon. The dungeon is the security team at Ledger. They are very talented hackers that are always trying to break things. And they do break things. They broke hardware wallets that were not using secure elements. They broke software wallets that used poor cryptographic implementations. Each time they find something, they do what we call responsible disclosures. So they get in touch with the owner of the system that was spawned, and they explain the vulnerabilities in order for the system to get patched. So not only they attack, but they also protect the overall ecosystem security. They also continuously review vulnerabilities submission on the Bounty program. And thanks to this Bounty program, they improve Ledger's security. If you find one of those, you can be featured in the Hall of Fames, where all the gladiators that found vulnerabilities on the Ledger stacks are featured. You can find some really cool hacks here, such as the authentication bypass on the HW1, the very first wallet that I've shown you earlier. And yes, some very great names here. And if there is one gladiator that should be mentioned in the history of hardware wallets, should be this guy, BTChip. BTChip is the co-founder of Ledger. He is an expert in hardware wallet security and mostly in smart card. BTChip has been in the arena for decades, actually even before Bitcoin was there. Very often, when you hear about successful business story, we tell you you need to find a problem and to design a product to solve that problem. Well, BTChip is not one of those. He had the product for years. He was just waiting for the use case. So for years, he was doing running small code on smart cards. It was used for many different purposes, such as advertisement. So you had this little smart card that you could plug, and it would show you an advertisement, which is a quite lame use case for such a technology, right? But hey, then came Bitcoin, and since then, he has a great use case, and he's still standing here in the arena. So if you feel like it, go try to fight him. And then we arrive to the Ethereum wallet history. So a few years later, the first Ethereum wallet was named Ethereum Wallet, or MIST. It was built by the foundation, the Ethereum Foundation. It was the wallet that launched the token standard known as ERC20. It was a browser wallet. But building a wallet is very hard. That's what the Ethereum Foundation realized. And the major issue with this wallet was the necessity to sync a node in order to use the wallet, which was not so difficult at the beginning. But as the chain grew, it became very impractical. And also, it was built on Electron, which is a great framework to build a desktop app or web apps. It's built for apps that run their own trusted JavaScript code. But when you are building a browser, by definition, you are running random code from people all around the world. So this is quite tricky. That's why the Ethereum wallet, MIST, was discontinued in favor of the new wallets that were appearing at the time and that were very successful, such as MyEtherWallet. MyEtherWallet, you probably know it. It's a very famous and very good product. It was made by Taylor, the knight you can see here. She was the co-founder at MyEtherWallet. I think she's doing security at MetaMask nowadays. She built a great wallet experience, one of the first actually to integrate with Ledger. So it was the first way of supporting Ethereum on a hardware wallet in history. And today, she still spends her time and her weekend trying to help the ecosystem security by investigating hacks and trying to help people not to get wrecked. So I see I'm soon running out of time, so I'm going to go to account abstraction. So basically, the new nights, the new paradigm shift in the wallet improvement journey. This year, you probably have heard a lot about account abstraction, and my bet is that you're going to hear more and more about account abstraction in the following months/years. Account abstraction is a very interesting concept where external EOAs are not there anymore, but we have the wallet logic on chain, on a contract. It allows programmable actions. It allows many things. It allows session keys, recursive payments, social recovery, and so forth and so on. So it's a huge paradigm shift. I invite you to join the 4337 Mafia if you want to learn more about it. There is an amazing GitHub repo called 4337 Mafia Awesome Account Abstraction, where we list all the different cool stuff that are being built on account abstraction. And remember when I told you that BIP32 allowed thousands to onboard and to enjoy the powers of blockchain? Then the hardware wallets allowed millions to join and to enjoy the powers of blockchain. Well, very likely, account abstraction will allow billions to join and to enjoy the powers of blockchain. It's going to be a huge paradigm shift. It's not there yet. There is no second mempool yet. For now, it's still a beta. So it's time to build it. And if you want to write your name in the tail of wallet, it's probably where you have to go. And one of these little smart contract wallets is probably going to change our industry. So will you build one and write your name in the tail of the wallet? Thanks for your attention. It was a pleasure. I think we have some times for questions. I'll take some questions. Please focus on the presentation and not other things. I already have enough trouble with things I think I know about, and I don't know anything about Recover. Oh.
Thanks a lot for the speech. It was very interesting. So my question is, so we're building the security layer for wallets, so basically to help to fight against scams. And the question would be, do you think that, for example, what MetaMask is doing now, they're offering the plugins, like a security plugins for wallet users. Do you think it's going to be integrated with the wallets further, so the wallets will be working on these scam protection tools, or it will be kind of more as a separate solutions that will have kind of their own customer base?
Very good question. So actually, I think it's going to be a bit of both. Like the simulation transaction tools are really useful and are able to prevent some scams. I think, especially for hardware wallet, the future is going to be a combination of both those simulations tools and clear signing on the device. So basically, once you have both those things, you're pretty safe. So yeah, to answer your question, I see a good future for transaction simulation tools, and we are currently exploring some of those solutions. Any other questions? Nope. All right. Thank you very much.